The story begins at an ancient sunken location where a young girl disappeared many years ago. When her photograph is discovered inside an abandoned water-filled structure, police realize this was not a simple kidnapping, but a carefully planned crime involving powerful people. In story, the mystery begins to unfold as disturbing clues emerge, yet the truth remains hidden beneath the surface. No one could remember exactly when the place went underwater. Some said it was after the storm. Others said it was sealed long before that. But everyone in the town agreed on one thing: no one went near it anymore. The structure sat half-collapsed beneath dark water, hidden at the edge of the marshland. Rusted metal beams, broken windows. A place that looked like it had been forgotten on purpose. That was where they found her. She was sitting in a wooden chair, deep below the waterline, as if someone had placed her there carefully. Her clothes were old, faded and soaked through with years of decay. A small blade rested across her chest, not raised, not threatening. Just placed. No signs of struggle, no damage to the surroundings, no obvious explanation. The first officer who saw her image on the recovery camera didn't speak for almost a full minute. Because the girl wasn't new. She had been missing for 9 years. Her name was Elena Cross. At least that was the name in the old files. Elena disappeared on a quiet afternoon while walking home from school. No witnesses, no screams, no fingerprints, just an empty street and a backpack found 3 blocks away. The case went cold within months until now. The recovery team pulled up fragments of the structure first. Broken furniture, old documents sealed in plastic, pieces of rope that didn't belong there. Then the chair, then her. The water had preserved more than it should have, which raised the first serious question. Why had this place been sealed so perfectly? Detective Aaron Hale was called in before sunrise. He had worked cold cases for over a decade, but this one felt different the moment he read the original report. Too clean, too quiet, too many assumptions made too quickly. Elena's disappearance had been labeled a runaway theory within 48 hours. No evidence supported it, no history of family issues, no money taken, no contact afterward. Someone had wanted the case to close. When Hale visited the Cross family home, he found something even stranger. Elena's room had been left untouched, not because of grief, but because of instructions. Her mother, now older and exhausted, explained it quietly. "They told us not to change anything," she said. "They said it might help if she ever came back." "Who told you that?" Hale asked. She hesitated. Men in suits. They never showed badges, but everyone listened to them. That was the second red flag. Back at the station, Hale reviewed archived footage from the day Elena disappeared. One camera, partially damaged, showed a shadow crossing the street at the exact minute she vanished. The shadow didn't move like a person walking. It paused, waited, as if someone had been watching her approach. The blade found with Elena wasn't a weapon from the crime scene. It was ceremonial old, cleaned repeatedly over the years, and engraved on the handle was a symbol, a triangle intersected by a line. Hale recognized it instantly, not from a criminal database, but from an internal training manual, a defunct task group symbol, one that officially never existed. When he tried to access the files, he hit a restriction notice. Access removed, authorization overridden. Someone had manually blocked it. That meant the case hadn't been forgotten. It had been protected. The structure underwater was once part of a private research facility, shut down abruptly after an internal investigation that was never made public. The official reason was structural instability. Unofficially, several employees vanished during its final year of operation. No bodies, no charges, no explanations. Hale requested permission to reopen the case fully. The response came back in less than 5 minutes. Request denied, case status closed. That was the moment he knew. Elena wasn't a victim of chance, she was a message. And someone had waited nearly a decade for that message to resurface. Late that night, Hale received an anonymous file drop. No sender, no metadata. Inside was a single image, a surveillance still taken from inside the facility. The timestamp matched the day Elena disappeared. And in the corner of the frame, barely visible, a man wearing a government clearance badge. Still active, still working, still powerful. The final line of the message appeared seconds later. "You found her because we let you." Stop now. Hale didn't stop, because now he understood something terrifying. Elena hadn't been hidden, she had been stored. And whatever she had seen was finally ready to surface. The water around the aircraft shifted again. Lena's eyes snapped open. She was still strapped to the chair, still underwater, still inside the broken fuselage. But something had changed. The light. It wasn't moonlight anymore. A faint blue glow pulsed from above the cockpit, flickering like a dying heartbeat. The water around her vibrated softly, as if the plane itself was breathing. She remembered now, not just the crash, the days before it. The argument, the folder, her name written in black ink on documents she had never seen before. Lena forced her head to turn. Pain shot through her neck, but she ignored it. On the floor beside her chair, partially buried in silt, lay the same knife. The knife she had sworn she never touched. But she had, hadn't she? A memory surfaced, blurred, fragmented. A man screaming, her hands shaking. Blood spreading across metal. No, she whispered, bubbles escaping her lips. That's not possible. The aircraft creaked suddenly, metal groaning as if under pressure. A section of the ceiling collapsed, sending a cloud of debris through the water. Lena coughed instinctively, lungs burning. She was running out of air. She pulled against the restraints again, harder this time. The buckle resisted, then snapped open. Lena floated upward, dragging herself free. Her feet kicked against the floor as she pushed toward the cockpit door. It was partially open now, warped by the crash. Beyond it, darkness stretched endlessly. And then she saw it, a body, wedged between two seats near the cockpit wall. The uniform was still intact. The face, familiar, too familiar. It was her. Not a reflection, not imagination. Another Lena, same scar near the eyebrow, same bracelet on the wrist, same terrified expression frozen in death. Lena screamed, but the sound never left her throat. Her heart hammered violently. Her mind rejected what her eyes were showing her. I'm here, she mouthed silently. I'm alive. A sudden flash cut through the water. Red-blue police lights. The aircraft faded. The pressure vanished. Lena jolted upright, gasping violently as air rushed into her lungs. She coughed, choking, hands clawing at nothing. She was no longer underwater. She was on land, cold concrete beneath her, harsh white lights overhead. A man leaned over her, shouting, "She's awake. Call it in." Lena tried to sit up, but strong hands pressed her shoulders down. "Easy," the man said. "You've been unconscious for 6 hours." She blinked rapidly, eyes burning. The room sharpened into focus, an interrogation room. Two-way glass, a table, a chair bolted to the floor. Her wrists were cuffed. "What happened?" she whispered. The man hesitated. "You don't remember?" Lena swallowed. "The plane, the water." Another man stepped into view, older, colder. He dropped a thick file onto the table and slid it toward her. "Then explain this." The file opened on its own weight. Photographs. Crime scenes. Bodies, dates spanning 10 years. And in every single photo, the same name was printed beneath the evidence tag, Lena Morrow. Her stomach twisted violently. "That's not me," she said quickly. "I was never there." The older man leaned forward, his eyes sharp. "Your fingerprints were," her breath caught. "And your DNA," he added. Lena shook her head, panic rising. "That's impossible. I don't remember any of this." The man nodded slowly. "That's what worries us." He turned the page. A final photo stared back at her. The underwater aircraft, taken 3 days ago. "We found 2 bodies in that wreck," he said quietly. Lena's heart stopped. "One was yours," silence crushed the room. "And the other," he continued, "is sitting right in front of me." Lena's mind shattered under the weight of it. "No," she whispered. "Then who am I?" The lights flickered. For just a second, she smelled salt water again. And far away, deep, distant metal began to creak. The moment the final data dump appeared on the screen, the room went silent. Every officer knew this was no longer a theory. It was a confession, just not spoken. The system logs revealed something chilling. The crimes weren't random, and the locations weren't chosen by convenience. Each place had one thing in common. The killer never owned a single weapon. He didn't need one. He used what already existed inside other people's homes. Investigators finally identified the pattern. The killer entered homes where renovations, repairs, or inspections had recently taken place. Gas lines slightly loosened, stair rails weakened, electrical wiring adjusted just enough to fail, doors modified to jam under pressure. Each death looked like an accident. A fall, a leak, a fire, a collapse. No fingerprints, no weapon, no forced entry. The map didn't predict crimes. It recorded preparations. That's when they understood why the suspect never stayed at a crime scene. He was a licensed municipal safety inspector named Evan Cole. someone whose job was to inspect, approve, and leave. Cole didn't kill directly. He created conditions. Police re-examined every inspection he had signed off on in the last 8 years. The list was massive, but only a handful ended in fatalities. Those fatalities had something else in common. The victims had all filed complaints about him, one for intimidation, one for falsifying reports, one for threatening behavior, all dismissed. Cole was brought in for questioning. Calm, cooperative, confident. When shown the map, he smiled, not because he was proud, but because he knew it was over. "I never touched them," he said, "and that's why you couldn't find anything." He explained it without emotion. He believed accidents were more honest than violence, that systems failed because people ignored warnings, just like they ignored him. He never carried a weapon, he never left DNA, he never returned to the scene, he simply approved danger. The final piece of evidence came from a hidden backup Cole didn't know existed, an autosave tied to a city analytics server. It recorded timestamp changes to infrastructure data made just hours before each incident. Every one of them linked back to his credentials. Cole was arrested that night. During trial, the defense argued he never killed anyone directly. The prosecution disagreed. The jury needed less than 4 hours. He was sentenced to life in federal prison. The city quietly shut down the predictive map system. Officials claimed it was unreliable. The public was never told how close they came to trusting a murderer's data. The homes were repaired, the files were sealed. The system was erased, but the lesson remained. Sometimes the most dangerous criminals don't carry weapons. They carry authority. And sometimes the deadliest crimes don't happen in dark alleys. They happen in places that were inspected, approved, and declared safe. If this story changed the way you see everyday safety, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.